Hey everyone, and welcome to another exciting adventure in Hisao land. Last time Emmy invited us for dinner, this time we're riding a bus. I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump on the road. I'm not really looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making the clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. Ugh. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up to her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. But that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares. Either that or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice anymore. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time pushing me away. Oh yeah, this is a thing. The nurse said she trusts me, even if it doesn't look like it. But I'm not sure I can trust the nurse. He's protective of Emmy, just like I'm protective of Emmy, and I'd be likely to say something to make her look good if someone asked me about her. So he might just be doing that. Still, there was something about the way he seemed genuinely surprised that Emmy invited me along. Maybe last night's talk helped me more than I think, but I'm still worried. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Emmy's mother, but that was just as an acquaintance. Now I'm going as Emmy's boyfriend and everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well have been another life entirely. Except then, I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Well, we're here. Emmy grabs my Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple of blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. I follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. She's setting quite a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much of a playing hostess. Or prefer playing host. I'm pretty sure I'm sick. So, bear with me. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always... Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing for her to have people over. This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, your mom prefers solitude? Emmy laughs, either from relief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know? She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or so she says. Clearly she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Hisao? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Yeah, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh good, now I feel twice as nervous. Though to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Bolstered by this new thought, I've managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up, we're here. Yeah. The door swings open and Mrs. Abarazaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. I guess. I'm never going to get used to that. They got the same chin, the same head shape, same bangs. I guess. You know, people normally wait for a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Of course. Welcome home, dear. I've missed you. An affectionate hug later, we're inside, and it is only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. And hello to you too, Hisao. How are you? I'm quite well, thanks. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah, yes, you've finished up your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. Certainly a weight off my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emmy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know, I get worried when you're all alone wound up about exams, blah blah blah. Hang on. Okay. Certainly Emmy's mother knows something I don't, or rather she doesn't know what Emmy's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Mrs. Abarazaki covers for Emmy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. I suppose Emmy's got more in common with quarks than with quacks than I ever realized. I know it's quarks. Moves around fast, impossible to understand through direct observation, yet she has an effect on everyone she encounters. I wonder if Mrs. Abarazaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? Yeah, it's not been as bad this year as in the past, because that'll help me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing that she looked forward to during exams, so maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little Either way, to hear that being around has helped me even a little makes me feel a little bit better. Emmy's mother raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy, or she's as surprised as I am. Well, then it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I'd tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hisao, but it looks like you're already doing that. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in my having managed to integrate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. Bullshit. She's gotten me out and running. Is it like ginger ale? I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was even before. I'd actually never thought of it that much, nor had I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. Oh God. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckled quietly, then realized that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at the school here. It comes out so casually, there was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mom. If Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, But even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side in people. I've never quite figured out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she gets, for starters. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you onto an exercise routine. If Rin weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too. Oh, that reminds me, say hello. Or Rin says hello. Rin. I drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move to the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Whoa, you've made enough to feed an army in here. Is it too much? Well, you can always take leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked would be welcome. Change of pace. Well, he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So, Sal, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close, huh? The urge to say something like not really is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reassert control. We are close, there's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mom don't seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. I blame your own. Oh, God. I don't even have it in me today. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. I'm not bitching either. I'm tired. Well, I for one found it a relief. Why's that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways. And certainly the whole track team seems to love her, but it is true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me. Rin and I. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from the popular girl, after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say that I'm surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emmy rolls her eyes into the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said? Nothing. Mrs. Barzaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emmy. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow, I don't think that would be very effective. I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. I learned it by watching you, Mom. After school specials are the best. Don't listen to her, Sal. She's a born line. What the fuck am I getting? No. I gotta read this. I actually have to read this. Huh, yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point. What, you traitor? You're supposed to take my side in this. No. But you did lie about your leg after the meet. Oh. Ow. A kick in the shin from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Mrs. Barzaki's eyebrows shoot upward. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I was just, in a wheelchair for a bit. The last few mumble words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has the experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why you kept dodging my calls. Oh, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course, she spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately? No, she had to finish healing up before they let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. I turned Facebook off. No, I didn't. That'll be... Also, this is the cry stream I didn't watch over the weekend. To date this video even more so, this is the day it is. These are my subscriptions. There's Cry, Piratas, and Game Grumps. You should watch them. And on Netflix, which isn't opening. You can't see it. You can't see it at all, but I'm watching bones. So yeah, I think that's a good place to stop.